Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I have to tell you this story. It's not one I want to tell, I have to tell it. At a retreat, and it requires a lot of walking back and forth that I would have done sprinting. Um, and yesterday someone said, you can drive your car right over there. You don't have to walk back and forth. I said, oh, that actually would be really helpful. I've been in a lot more pain than normal. And so the short distance of a ride is actually helpful. The ground is uneven and there are places where you can't see a root coming up out of the ground, and I didn't want to fall. And so she rode across with me, and I said, I didn't recognize it until right now, but there's a great deal of shame associated with a chronic illness. And she said, I get that. She understood it. She deeply understood it. And my sociological self began to dive into it, and I said, wow, I never recognized it as shame, but it's shame. And it has nothing to do with anything you did, but it's what you have, it's what you've inherited, it's what you live with. And immediately I was like, whoa, I wonder if I can figure this out. I can figure out how to help people put down their shame around race. It's not necessarily what they did, it's what we've all inherited, what we live with, what we're walking around with. But in this shame, and many of you are going to say, there's no shame in it, there's no reason to feel shame. You clearly have never had a chronic illness. Nobody's going to ring a bell for you when the treatment is done, because the treatment will never be done. There will be one doctor visit after the next doctor visit, and a new thing will crop up, and a new thing will crop up, and people will say, what now? What are you doing now? And there seems to be so little grace for people who live with something that's just not going to get better. It can be healed, and you can mentally walk through the world like everything is really okay. Someone asked me yesterday, do you ever feel despair? And I said, no. I typically reframe it. I can reframe despair and say, it's not always this way. It's not always like this. It's not everybody. There is hope. We are going to get there. But when it comes to this thing that I did not cause, that I just have to live with, and I've lived into so well and hid for so long so well, that when people look at you or say, are you okay? And you want to say, I haven't been okay for like 20 years. And it gets worse, and it does. But if you can put down the shame around the fact that you can't do things the way you used to, when we can get to the place to accept who we are, what we are, and the fact that we are still here. This is where Langston Hughes comes into play. I've been scarred and battered, my hopes the wind done scattered. Snow done freeze me, sun done bake me. Looks like tween 'em they trying to make me stop living, stop laughing, stop loving. But I don't care, 'cause I'm still here. Many of us, in our chronically ill frames, are more effective than fully fit, functioning, well-being people will ever be. Use what you have to love more deeply, see more fully, and really walk humbly with God. I love you.